Hey, what's up, traders? I hope you guys had a great weekend and had a good day today. I want to start off the week sharing some knowledge with you. You'll never let a bad trade go to waste. I'm going to say it again. Never let a bad trade go to waste. I know you're probably thinking, what the hell do you mean by don't let a bad trade go to waste? You know, we take trades all the time where we don't get the results that we want, or we do something in the end we say, man, that was stupid. Why did I do this? And we don't take the time to look at these trades and understand why we made the decision to get in. Why did we make the decision to get in when we did? Why did we make the decision to get out when we did? You know, why did we do this? Why did we get ourselves in this position? And if we don't address that why, and we just throw these trades away and never address why we did what we did, then we're going to repeat it. We're going to keep repeating it. And then we're going to be pissed off trying to figure out why the hell are we making the same mistakes, over and over again. Okay. After we do it, it kind of sticks in our mind. A couple days, we probably won't make that mistake. But it'll come back. And it'll come back when we least expect it. It's all because we never addressed what caused us to make that decision. Now, the last couple of programs I did, one of the things that I wanted to address first, and what I wanted to help you figure out, is understanding who you are as a trader, understanding what your triggers are, and all of that. So when we would work together, when we do our one-on-one mentoring sessions or whatever, we could kind of work on that. But what I realized was we were working from behind, and we were working after the fact. So even though you were trying to figure out, or you could come up with reasons why you did what you did, if we weren't addressing it at the point of attack, it wasn't as effective as it should have been. Because trading, as you know, is a completely different animal. If you've been in this trading business long enough, you realize that this is completely different than anything else in the world you've ever tried to do. And so a lot of times the methods that work really good in traditional teaching may not be as effective. And this is one of these fields that you actually have to do things a little bit different. And that's what made me come up with the shadow mentoring part. Because if we're working and we're in live real time and something happens and it causes you to start to trigger you to make a bad decision on your trading, then we could address it right then. And we can figure out very quickly what's causing you to make those bad decisions. Okay? And that could save you thousands in just trading, trying to figure it out, or trying to make things, fit. So that's why I came up with this shadow mentoring. And I'm going to give you an example here in a minute. All right? Whoops, I keep messing up. So if you're interested in that, you can hit me up at tradingperformancespecialist.com, or email me ed@tradingperformancespecialist.com. I have done everything and taken everything that I've learned these last 12, 13 years in helping and mentoring. Take the information that my mentor gives me, and I try to make this better every step of the way. So, like everything else, if you want to take advantage of this, there's only one payment and you get unlimited time. I'm not trying to make $1 million shadow mentor. I can only do a couple at a time. But it's what I figured out, it's what I found that's the most effective, because it happens real time and it's a direct assistance. You can't get any more direct than that. All right. Also, just want to remind you, we are using another prop firm, Trade Day. Now, Take Profit Trader is still excellent. I think it's still number one. Trade Day is right there. I think the only reason that it's not number one is that it's got a 7-day test versus a 5-day test. But what I like about Trade Day, especially for brand new traders, is you have the option to choose what risk parameter you want to use. A lot of people hate the intraday trailing drawdown. They love the end of day trailing drawdown. They also, some of them love the static, where there's no trailing. It's just $500 or $1,000, whatever it is. That's what it is. And it doesn't move. So it just depends on what you like. You have that option here to choose whatever account you want. But right now, there's 30% off. Just use discount code AJT66 when you check out, or there's going to be a link. This link's going to be in the description that you can just click and go straight to. But the previous video, I went over everything with Trade Day, so I'm not going back over it again. I just wanted to remind you that I am using another one, so I'll be using two: Take Profit Trader and Trade Day. All right, so let's talk about the this morning. Now, this was a really good learning experience for a trader who always gets themselves trapped. Always. And this is the first time that they figured it out. And it happened live, it happened real time. And we figured out, what caused him to make the decisions that he makes. So here's pre-market. Let's go back. Here's pre-market. This is when it made the high. Now this was a good trade, but I missed it. I wasn't ready at that time. But you guys know I do trade all night, and I do like to catch these moves here. I do love to catch them. So what I'm doing is I'm not copy trading both prop firms at the same time. I'm trading Take Profit Trader. That's my main one. That's the one that I have reached the plateau on. I'm trading overnight with it because that's the easiest money to make is trading this thing overnight. And then I'm using Trade Day for the morning trades. So here is the open. This is the 5-minute opening range candle right here. It's 5-minute opening range high. We almost got as much volume as we had when it made the pop up here. All right, so this is the opening candle. And what we like to do, you can see right here, it kind of popped up a little bit and then pulled back in. I'm still not going to trade this. Okay, you can trade this using this candle as a guide so that, you know, hey, you won't get blown up, because at this point, these candles are really volatile and you have to be careful with this. So what happened here, it bounced and it ran right up, and this is the high that it put in. This is actually the all-time high. All-time high. So you're not going to buy in here unless you're a scalper. Now, if I was scalping, I would buy the break and kill it here. So what we've done is we have made a new high. We've broken out to a new high. And what this trader did, he was like, I'm going to buy the break. He bought the break right here. In reality, this is just the previous high. This is not a good level to base your stop on. Okay, if you're going to buy the break here without it establishing above R4, which will be the, resistance line, you're going to have to use the next level of resistance, which would be this or this. This is the 5-minute opening range high. This is the 20-day, which is actually the midline for the Bollinger Band. So you're going to use this. It came down, started selling off, spooked him out. Okay, took it off. That is a bad trade. That's a mistake. The mistake was buying here before it established a level of support. The last level of support established is all the way down here on this line. So you got to use this again. So don't wait for it to come down. You want to let it actually test this before you bail out. So he got scared out, took it off. The reason being, he understood how he made that mistake. Even though I'm saying, listen, we don't want to buy this break. We don't want to. Because I always like to wait for the pullback in order to buy. And guess what it did? It pulled back to this level. I waited for it to base off of this. And once we took out R4, I bought it. Here's our stop right here. Okay, even though this is the level that we're basing it off of, this is the low, I'm going to put my stop just below the low. Because if we come back and take this out, it's not ready to go. I've got a small loss that I could get back in and go. All right, here, after he saw this, he was like, man, even if I took this off, I could have waited, and man, it was so clear. But what he did, he made this mistake, and then he compounded it by shorting it when he lost this. So because he saw this, And now that it's pulling back, he's like, well, we're going to come back and we're probably going to lose the low and start selling off. All of this was in his mind. All of this was in his mind. So what made him think that? Those are the things that the things that come to light when we do this type of mentoring. And so when he saw what I did, or when I told him this is what we were going to do versus everything that he did, he started to see the light. And then he realized what triggered him here and what triggered him here. And it wasn't the fact that, yeah, this was the fear of missing out. But why? Something triggered him to take this. That's what he had to figure out. We know about the fear of missing out. And that, but what triggers that fear in you? What triggers it? I didn't have that fear. I used to. I figured out what my trigger was and I worked on it. I didn't take it here. I didn't short it here, thinking that it was going to come back now. I waited patiently for the bounce, which I said all the way over here, this is what we want to do. But I let him do his thing so we could figure out what happened. But guess what? All the money he lost here, he made back on this trade. Because at that point, he realized what happened. You can see it pull back and, learning when we get out before we let it pull all the way back and stop us out. I hope that makes sense. But in just the first hour of the first session that we had, this guy, he was enlightened. And now we can work on the triggers. Changing the reaction to the trigger. That's where everything is. Changing that habit. Because you develop habits that you're going to do these trades based on these triggers. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And when other things come up, aha moments, I will be sharing them as well. But again, if you have any questions, shoot me an email, message me here on YouTube, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to leave it with you today. Hope you have a great rest of the evening. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.